Magic the Gathering's brand new expansion, War of the Spark, has gone live, and both Fortnite and Apex Legends devs talk about crunch in the gaming industry. All that and more, I'm Ethos, and this is Free to Play Weekly. First off in the news this week, the War of the Spark has begun in Magic the Gathering, with pre-release tournaments for the expansion going live this past weekend in game stores around the world, and is set to go live in Magic the Gathering Arena this week. It's currently live actually right now. Billed as the most ambitious Magic the Gathering card set ever, War of the Spark adds a whopping 36 brand new Planeswalker cards and a quote-unquote a brand new cinematic story experience unlike anything Magic fans have ever seen before. You can also get 3 free packs for this brand new expansion if you redeem the code PLAYWARSPARK. And so it looks like the City of Heroes drama rolls on with extra legality. So Massively OP is reporting that the Titan Network, makers of Paragon Chat, are in direct negotiations with NCSoft to host a fully legal server using the source code distributed last week. Titan heads honcho Tony Vasquez has been keeping people up to date on the situation via Twitter, while another group labeled as the leaders of the Reddit-backed Discord are also pushing for a legal solution. Now, both parties have been taking their time with this matter and will provide more details as they become available, and as of most recently, what we've discovered is that Paragon Chat co-creator Codewalker has also chimed in with a forum post, stating that Paragon Chat has never asked for donations and never accepted any. Now, donations can be made, however, to the Paragon Chat wiki. He flatly denies the notion that Paragon Chat was a quote-unquote smokescreen for Leandro's Score server, which he knew about, and that there hasn't been just a whole team in coordination between him and Leandro through the years. The Titan Network has also apparently been in negotiations with NCSoft before, with a forum post back to 2014, and it doesn't seem like it went really well. So all this means 2 main things. One, the drama train has only left the station, and we'll see probably more before several stops regarding this incident. And 2, don't get your hopes up too high just yet. And moving on to Avengers Endgame news, don't worry, not spoilers. Just Fortnite, of course, the biggest game tying up with one of the biggest movies of all time. Another Fortnite Battle Royale update has now also included this cool limited time mode. Players can play either as the heroes or Thanos or his minions in an epic battle. Although everyone on the bad side starts off as a Chitauri warrior, the first of the Chitauri to get their hands on the stones become Thanos. If the Thanos player is eliminated, another Chitauri will take its place. Now, if you're playing as the heroes, it's important to make sure that Thanos and the gang don't collect any stones. If they do, your team will not be able to respawn once killed. Interesting, right? Now, that said, it's probably a good idea to keep the other side from getting any of the stones, since each stone provides a stat boost to Thanos and the Chitauri. Each of these boosts is detailed in their patch notes. And for added fun, it appears that players will also be able to get a plethora of Avenger-themed gear, from Iron Man's gauntlets, Captain America's shield, Thor's hammer axe, and Hawkeye's bow, all of which appears in their latest trailer. There's even a sweet Black Widow skin for all players to pick up from the store. And speaking about Fortnite, we're going to get a little bit into how Fortnite functions in the industry. It seems like just like many other studios, Epic Games is another game studio that is apparently working its employees to the bone. Now, according to Polygon's Colin Campbell, they published an article last week based on a dozen interviews with former and current Epic employees. They describe work weeks ranging from 70 to 100 hours voluntarily, but it's pretty much mandatory evenings and weekend work, and management's lack of care for its people. Now, before Fortnite became a success, sources said that the company ran smoothly with only the occasional overtime, and they weren't ever crunching their developers. However, of course, as Battle Royale blew up and Fortnite became one of the biggest games in the world, greater workloads became more common. One employee who asked during a meeting how the company would deal with endless crunch received only a non-committal answer. Now, to its credit, Epic Games did appear to hire a lot new staff when Fortnite hit big, and its employees are well compensated, with 3 times their salary in bonuses, according to one source, who said that your time is bought and accounted for. Shut up, keep your head down, and do the work. Some in the company didn't experience crunch themselves, although they did witness others, notably producers, getting overworked horrendously. Now, eventually something's got to give, and game developers unionizing is a possibility that gets talked about a lot. But I also wouldn't be surprised to see some big studios buckle under the weight of endless crunch. Epic is probably still fine financially. Now, if you crunch all the time and it's known that you do, talented individuals won't want to work for you, and those who do won't be able to do their best work. It's simply a recipe for disaster. And moving on to our last story, which covers crunch when it comes to the gaming industry, we have another game developer, Respawn Entertainment, responsible for the latest and greatest hit, Apex Legends, talking about development priorities and reiterating their commitment to their employees' health. So earlier this week, Respawn Entertainment CEO Vince Van Pella admitted that the content rollouts for Apex Legends were a bit lighter than he would have liked. This was honestly done with the benefit of healthier and happier employees. Executive producer Drew McCoy last week talked about these issues as well as others in their blog piece on the Apex Legends website. Now, McCoy stated that they definitely realized that they have hit a few bumps along the way, including things like exploits, bugs, cheaters, and more. And these things happen when you have a rapidly expanding game. They've also labeled tackling these things as extremely high priority, but also things like the slow server performance at the start of a match, when everyone's moving around and shooting like it's the Matrix. McCoy reiterates that Zampella said that the health of their team and not wanting to pursue an insane update schedule similar to something that Fortnite has done. He says that the team prefers large, meaningful changes to the game over weekly updates, and that they're committed to the Season Pass schedule as established, with the first look at Season 2 coming up at EA Play this June. And that moves us to the question of the week. Now, this is a very complicated and a very nuanced conversation about crunch and how companies can do a better job of avoiding crunch. Of course, as you guys can tell, there's two sides to every coin, and of course you have one side where your employees' health is really good, which you see with Apex Legends, but of course what suffers is the content which consumers will receive, and then vice versa with Fortnite, where consumers receive a plethora of content very quickly, but of course this comes at a cost with the happiness and health of their employees. Let me know in the comments below what your guys' thought is on developers crunching to complete deadlines for their games so that they'll be ready to release or brand new updates, and what you think companies can do to alleviate this issue. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. And that's it for this week's Free to Play Weekly. Don't forget to check out mmobomb.com for giveaways and the latest news. My name is Ethos, and I'll catch you guys later.